Hello, listeners. Normally, right now, you would be listening to a sponsor ad followed by a fomercial. But this week, I wanted to do something a little different to start off the show. As many of you already know, we lost the King of Wakanda, T'Challa, this week, Mr. Chadwick Boseman. So I reached out to some of my friends and asked for stories about what Chadwick meant to them. So first, you will hear from Thomas Walls, who portrayed a Montreal Royals coach on the movie 42. Then you will hear about how Chadwick encouraged and inspired Garrett Dumas. And in closing, you will hear a very sweet story from Anna Lily East, who worked on Black Panther with Mr. Chadwick Boseman. And then the show.
I worked with Chadwick Boseman in Birmingham, Alabama in the movie 42. The first day we worked, it was probably 95 degrees with 90% humidity. We worked the 14-hour days wearing wool baseball uniforms. So hot and humid, people were dropping like flies. But at the end of the day, Chad made sure he came to every team member on the Montreal Royals team and shook their hand and told them how much he appreciated them hanging in there and working to make this film something special. He was like that almost every day. I worked with him about 12 days, and he was a genuine, nice guy.
I was going to write this down, but I figure it's better to say something like this from the heart. I didn't know Chadwick personally. I just knew his work from 42 to get on up to Black Panther. For me, Black Panther was a very special character. Things that I'd lined back when I first got into this industry, where Black Panther, he didn't have a film. He didn't have much of a presence even in the Marvel Universe. So me and a buddy, Carnell, who had a Black Panther costume, we made a Deadpool and Black Panther fan film because neither of them had films. I learned through this process the huge part of representation, of how important it is for kids to see a superhero that looks like them. It's something I never really thought of as a kid, but as we toured doing the cons and stuff like that, it grew to be very, very, very important. For me, when I took off the Deadpool mask and they saw that I was black, I looked like them. Those kids, their eyes would light up. All the kids would light up. It was building another perception of what the world, what society thought a black man could be or should be. So when Black Panther finally got cast, we were like excited. We were just like, we did it. We were happy. We didn't know who was going to get cast for them, but we saw it was Chadwick, and that was a big deal. We're like, wow, okay. Of course, me and my buddy, we looked it up to see who he was and the things he'd done before. So, okay, well, you get the training, you can pull it off. And it was going to be huge. After Black Panther came out, I'd avoided working at that time because I didn't want to be just the background in a big Marvel film, especially like Black Panther. But seeing my friends, fellow actors and stunt people in that film, it was like seeing it come to life. It was seeing the work of years come to life. It was seeing kids embrace Black Panther on a larger scale. And seeing Chadwick, he filled the role of T'Challa. And not only did he carry himself as T'Challa on television, he carried himself as a positive man, a man of faith, outside, not in front of the camera. He wore the helm for those kids. No one knew he was dying. He worked tirelessly, day in and day out, project after project. It's amazing, and no one knew he was in so much pain. But he has forever changed with, everyone else involved. He will forever be a part of history. Kids now have a hero who looks like them, and he carried himself in such a way that where he will always be that hero. It's a shame that he was called home earlier than we would hope. But what he's done will live forever. With all the negative images of black men and killing and violence. All of us being treated sometimes as if we're second-class citizens. Showing minorities in a not only place of power, of royalty and intelligence and growth. It was brilliant. Losing Chadwick, we will be losing a major part of the film world. He was already there. We had only seen a drop of his body of work that he possibly could have done. But maybe that's why he worked so hard, because he knew. But we're thankful for the time he put on this earth. The world will never be the same. And regardless, his legacy will live on forever. Black Panther, Chadwick will forever be T'Challa. And that's beautiful.
I am still trying to come to terms with the fact that Chadwick is no longer physically present on the same astral plane as I am. So forgive me if I start crying. I'm going to try and hold it together. I have been racking my brain and trying to figure out what it is that I want to say to honor him. I have so many stories, so many memories, so many feelings. But I think the one that I want to share with everyone is everything to do with who Chadwick was, the person he embodied. And so here it goes. My very first day on the set of Black Panther, I show up wearing an entire outfit based on Batman, because why wouldn't you show up to a Marvel production wearing DC uniform? So that's the kind of person I am. And I show up on set wearing, literally, I'm in a Batman hat, Batman t-shirt that features a cape, Batman leggings. I have my socks that are also Batman that also have little capes on the end, and I'm wearing my Batman Converse. And I walk up to Chadwick while he's on set, just chilling, waiting for the next role to take. And he looks at me and he says, "Get off my set wearing that DC shit. We only support real heroes around here." When I tell you I stopped dead in my tracks. Oh. And then he looked at me and he smiled and he laughed. And so I kind of laughed and I was like, super nervous. And he goes, "Nah, but for real, don't wear that shit again." And so it became a game, because you're not going to tell me what to wear. So literally every Thursday I show up wearing some new form of Batman attire. And it went on for a few weeks where I would wear my Batman attire and he would look at me with those eyes of disappointment and feelings all hurt. And I would just laugh and smile at him as if I had no idea what he was so disappointed about. But then it comes to the end of the production, and on that final Thursday, I get to set, and he comes up to me with this big toothy grin, and he just has his hands in his jacket, and he goes, "Guess what?" And I said, "What, Chadwick?" And he unzips his jacket real quick, and he's wearing a Batman t-shirt on underneath his Black Panther jacket. But when he looks at me and realizes that I'm wearing an entire wardrobe of just Black Panther memorabilia, he just gets this big smile and he hugs me so tight and he say, "Yeah, that's right. We all know who the real Dark Knight is." When I think of Chadwick, I have so many memories and so many good times and good feelings and so much love. But that is my favorite memory with him, because it's just a silly story. It really just embodies the Chadwick that I know and the Chadwick that I love. And I am so grateful every single day, because I know that not a lot of people know that that is the Chadwick behind all of the characters he played. Chadwick changed a lot of lives, and I am forever thankful to him for changing mine and showing me that there is always the option to be kind and courteous and welcoming and loving, no matter what is going on in your life, no matter what is going on behind the scenes. You should always be the best possible version of you there is to be, because that's exactly what Chadwick would have wanted. He wants the world to be filled with light and love. So if you want to honor him, then do exactly what he did. Spread love, spread hope, and spread strength. I love you, Chadwick.